It's Dew Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Dew Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, we've had some days off. We started off with the 4th of July, and this was celebrating the 250th year of the United States. That's a long time. And I hope that your day was, you had your little barbecue food and family and friends, and you were able to enjoy yourself, maybe go away and get a little travel in. And again, hoping everything was safe. I was at a place where it poured. I mean, like cats and dogs. So we did not end up going out to see any fireworks, but I had an opportunity to rest. And preparing for this 4th annual conference is really something big. And this prayer and awareness walk, thank God, thanks be to God, it is growing and it's growing and it's growing just like we wanted it to. We are really gearing up for a wonderful time in the Lord, and boy, is it a lot of work. When you come, I'm just going to say when you come, you will have experienced a wonderful time. It is really just shaping into something magnificent. So I'm encouraging you, just come on out, come on out, Pastor Jeff. You're going to get an opportunity to meet Pastor Jeff. You're going to get an opportunity to meet our brother Ainsley. You're going to get an opportunity to meet Shantice. You're going to get an opportunity to meet our girl Viv from Wow Wednesday. So listen, you want to be there if you can, because it's going to be like Dew Time live also. So, Shantice and Vivian will be presenting there with all due respect. And I can't wait to see what they have planned. I really can, because they always come up with some good stuff. They really do. So now that we're going to be out in the park, I don't even want to know what they have planned, because I know that they're gearing up for something really good. So that's what we've been doing. Yes, as you can see, I'm not in the same location, but trust me when I tell you, the work is still going on day in and day out. We were working on music and all kinds of songs, and boy, I'm telling you, I can't wait to see all the vibrant colors from the awareness shirts, and they're working on that diligently. And oh my goodness gracious, if you don't come out, I promise you're going to miss something big. There's going to be a big movement of God, and we have we've got a group, a men's organization that will be joining us, Faith, Fathers Alive in the Hood, and they range from the Jamaica Queens area, St. Albans, Cambria Heights, and they will definitely be on deck and, seeing, what's going on, for the first time. They are participating in, this, and they're participating in the walk expressly. So we're looking for some big things. Prayer is going to be saturated. Queens is going to be saturated with prayer. And I'm going to talk to you more about that toward the end of the show. But when I tell you the plans are going forth, people have we only have a couple of awarenesses that did not get any traction. But I got to tell you, mental health is sitting at the top. What else? I just got finished looking at the list. Mental health and what is that? Domestic violence is getting a lot of traction. We have what else? What else got a lot of traction? I can't remember, but by the time we finish, I might be able to tell you. All right. So, we're going to get this party started. I can't wait to get with my Due Time crew. I miss them. I haven't seen them Friday. I haven't seen them Monday, and I miss them. So let's get ready to get this party started. So go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody, it's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
To say to God in the middle of what you're going through, God, show me what I'm supposed to learn in the middle of this. Come on. Can I go deeper?
Go deeper.
Lord, perfect my character in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Lord, strengthen my faith in the middle of this. And here is one we shy away from in America. Lord, take out of me what does not belong in there in the middle of this. Sometimes he's using that fire to burn things out of you that cannot stay in you, lest you ruin something he plans to do for you in another season. Some of you are praying for things that God will give you, but he has to do something with your character first.
Come on.
So that you don't ruin it if he gave it to you right now. Does that make sense to anybody?
Yes.
It takes maturity.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to Due Time with Pastor Steph. And it is Let's Talk About It Tuesday, Church Folk Day. Yes. I hope you enjoyed your Monday. I hope you were shaking off that Monday morning blues without us. I hope we didn't have to, prompt you every week. And if we're not there, you don't shake it off. And I hope you had a wonderful Freestyle Friday, because I did. So I'm hoping you did as well. Well, you know how we do. First thing in the morning, I got to check in with my Due Time viewers. And I know you know the rule. You got to check in first. That's the only way I know you're out there. And I see we got some new viewers. So I'm hoping you hang out with us for this cycle, so you can see what we're all about and you can take part in the festivities. All right, we got to check in from our girl Kitty. Hey Kitty girl. We got to check in from Lucas. Hey Lucas, thank you for joining us. We got a check in from, I hope, Miss Grace. I hope you're out there. I hope you're doing well. And it's Tuesday, so you might have an opportunity to get a little rest on today. Hopefully. Well, we must say good morning to the ladies that help us hold it down each and every week, each and every day. We got our girl Shantice. Good morning. We got our girl Anika. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And we can't wait to see and talk to the Due Time crew. So we have our health tip quickly this morning because there is a recall. I had to give you this one. There's a recall on frozen blueberries. They say that it covers the 10-ounce bag of Green Wise organic IQF blueberries, and the affected packages were distributed in your public stores, and that's Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. And I got to tell y'all, we just did a recall last week, and it included some of these same states. So I don't know what's going on out there, but they say that they're advising customers to return or throw away the blueberries purchased on or before July 3rd. And they say that they're not being very targeted with what's wrong, but they say they initiated a recall after learning about reports of digestive illnesses among people who'd eaten the blueberry. So these are frozen blueberries, and they're believing that people have gotten some E. coli, which affects your abdominal area, severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting. And they say that hopefully if you have it, you haven't eaten it yet. So please just take it back to the store. You can, or either throw it away, whichever one, but you will. Remember, when there are recalls, you get your money back. It is not a fight. It is not any issue. You know, some people, I don't want to go through all of that. No, it's your money. So go ahead and get your refund if you've already purchased it, okay? So Green Wise whole blueberries, okay? And remember, it's been distributed out of the Publix store. Publix, all righty? All right. So you know what else we do on a Tuesday morning. We go through our little trivia and oh, hold on a second. We got some comments. Let me see what I can pick up over here. All right. So Remy, good morning, Remy. Thank you so much. Hey, so my shampoo just went on a recall. What am I supposed to do with it? Take it back to the store. If it's a well-known recall, take it back to the store. If not, go on the website of the manufacturer. Whoever's doing the recall, they will direct you as to how to return it if you want to get your money back. So again, any recall, if you produce the product, you get the refund. But some of them are not where you could just take in the store. I don't know which one, you know, your shampoo falls in. But go back to the store, ask them if they know about the recall, and they may give you your money back right there. Or if you don't, go online and notify them and let them know that you have the product. And if it's on recall, they'll automatically tell you what to do. All right. So I hope that helps, Remy. All righty. All righty. So let's talk about our trivia today. So they have gotten some people to list some serious dangers that we're not aware of. All right. Hey, Terrence. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well, my brother. And hopefully mom is doing well. All righty. So people are sharing some of the dangerous things that we're faced with that nobody really knows about, or you may not know about. All right. So let's see. Oh, they say electric scooters. They say people act like they're innocent and chill, but people are injured by them. Riders and pedestrians way too often. They say just the other day, a person I know was hit by one, and they now have permanent brain damage. And that's saying nothing about the fact that many people, kids especially, are zooming around on them without a helmet. And they've been telling us forever to get helmets when we're riding these, things, these vehicles, so that, if you were to take a fall, you're not going to be damaged. All righty. All right. What else? People losing their ability to tell what's real online is getting way scarier than most text itself. It's true. When they have this thing is it AI or not? It's like a lot of people are believing things that are not real, but it looks so real that you can't tell the difference. All righty. Billionaires are controlling the world, and there's very little we can do about it. Thus the call every morning to join the side of the Lord, because the enemy is controlling the world. All righty. Social media manipulating public discourse for the benefit of political or corporate entities. A lot of stuff goes on we have no idea about. We don't know anything. All right. Microplastics are literally in our blood now, and we just keep scrolling past that headline as if it's a weather update. So we did a health tip quite some time ago about all of the microplastics that's in our food that we don't know anything about. And I guess that's what they're talking about here. All right. They say bad parenting. It breeds and perpetrates psychopathic and sociopathic behavior. And boy, we are really seeing that in our parenting. We are really seeing some dangerous stuff going on with this parenting. So we got to keep our children prayed up. We got an official check-in from Miss Grace. Hey, Miss Grace, thank you for joining us. Somebody put untreated high blood pressure. Yeah, that's definitely one of the silent killers, along with diabetes. Trust me, it's killing a whole lot of people, and we don't even realize the danger that's lurking in our body. All righty. Loneliness. So many people nowadays have no friends or even family connections. Vivian talked about this a few weeks ago. She talked about the fact that, a lot of people, they said loneliness is something that's dangerous right now. Don't you remember that? Were you on with our Wild Wednesday segment? Yeah, loneliness. I can't remember how she put it, but it was crazy. It was crazy. So check on, the people that you love. Sometimes people can be around a whole host of people and they still feel lonely. And we don't know why. It happens all the time. But, check on your friends. If you haven't heard from them, check on them and see, make sure they're not lonely. Sleep deprivation. People treat it like it's a normal part of being busy, but it quietly wrecks your mood, focus, health, driving, and decision making. And that's true. It's true. A lack of sleep can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Let's see what else. Digital footprints, they say, is dangerous. It's scary how much information can be found about someone, as digital footprints are becoming increasingly widespread due to a lack of regulations. The laws are so relaxed on data collection. And I got to tell you, I took a class when I was doing, when I was getting my certification for life coaching. And it was not just one area. It was so many areas. And the carbon footprints, digital footprints, that's real. That's real. And this is why, even without you going on the internet and saying, "Hi, my name is Stephanie Blue. I live at 1515 Mockingbird Lane, you know, Atlanta, Georgia. Excuse me. My date of birth is 4/5/79." Without you literally inputting all of that, all the information that we put in to websites, that's how you can pull up anybody's name and see all their information. So they call it a digital footprint or a carbon footprint, because everywhere you go, you're leaving traces of yourself. So, the person is saying that this is dangerous. And you know what? It is. It makes for great identity theft. It really does. Don't take a whole lot more. The only thing that you may not have is a social. And if you dig deep enough, you just might get that. So, somebody else says sedentary lifestyles can be dangerous. Well, it's true, because they say to keep your heart pumping properly, to keep your blood flowing properly, to help stop the obesity, to help the flow of your brain function, you need to be moving. That sedentary lifestyle is really not good for our health or our life. When you're a couch potato, as they used to call it, I don't know what they call it now, but when you're a couch potato, that means you don't do nothing but just sit around and maybe look at TV, or maybe sit on the computer, maybe flipping through your device. That's not good for your health, and it's not good for you mentally. So they're right. Let's see what else. Falls and household accidents can happen so easily and cause many injuries and deaths. Secure your ladders, y'all. Yeah, they have a lot of elderly people who have a lot of falls and things like that, and you got to be very careful, to make sure that you don't leave cords around and you ain't tripping over that cat or that dog. This stuff happens. It happens. It happens. Let's see. Attempting to drive while on your phone. Are people still doing that? Oh my goodness gracious. Come on, y'all. If y'all are, please stop. Haven't we had enough deaths and accidents to tell us to put it on the side? Put it on the side. Don't touch it. Dental disease can lead to heart disease. Yes, we've talked about that. We've talked about that as well, where the dental, the bacteria and infections in your mouth can go to your brain, or go down to your heart, or into your internal organs. And all those toxins and poisons can be very dangerous. So think about it. There are a lot of hidden dangers in life that we have no idea of, that we don't even think about. And you want to make sure that you stay on top of that. All righty? All righty. So let's see what the news is talking about. I did get some news stuff, and it's kind of interesting today. We got a check-in from our girl minister Tamika. Hey, we'll be happy to see you on the other side. All right, well, this is kind of like an update. If you remember, a while ago, we talked about President Trump trying to mess with the birthright citizenship. And it has gone to the Supreme Court. And yes, the Supreme Court has shut him down. because remember, he was trying to dismantle the birthright citizenship. And what that means is that if you're legal or illegal here in the United States, if you deliver a child in the United States, that child is an automatic citizen. And what he was trying to do was he was trying to dismantle that and say that if you weren't a citizen, your children born here without question were not considered citizens. And the Supreme Court is not having it. They say that back on June 30th, they ruled against him, and it challenged the 14th Amendment. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. And here's what's interesting. They say the 14th Amendment was created in part to establish formerly enslaved people as citizens. So, born right here, but a slave, they had to make an amendment to say you were a citizen. So he's trying to say that those who were not born here cannot deliver children who will then be considered citizens. And they partnered the two up. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Shanti says, why is he messing with this world? They're born here, they're born here. And that's what everybody was trying to figure out. Listen, you're born here, you're automatically a citizen. That's the way it's always been since the amendment. Okay, clearly. But yeah, so I'm happy to know that he got shut down. Because the Supreme Court can act real strange at times. Real strange at times. So what else are we talking about today? Let's see. All right, y'all. Why we always got to be out of control? Shantice, show the video, please.
I can't get in there. Hold on.
What is you doing, bro?
Good now.
What is y'all doing, bro?
Shit, man.
Bro, what is y'all doing, man?
Did you see that? Did you recognize what was going on? That during this heat wave, we had some people who were actually going into supermarkets, and instead of just kind of parlaying in the aisles and pretend like you're shopping or, yeah, Ketty, what the heck? They are literally laying in the freezer section. And this is no joke, because they had several accounts of this happening. Several. So he's already in there and she's trying to join him. And again, they had several, not in one store. They said they had several instances where people were actually going in the supermarket and getting in the food freezer. And like I said, yo, why we just can't go in and pretend like we buying some chips and push the cart around. They said that a few years ago in China, the people, it was so hot that the people were clearing out the shelves in the supermarkets and getting on the shelves and laying down. Now, how unsanitary is this behavior? Oh goodness gracious. So some people were writing and saying, y'all need to throw this food out. Why didn't y'all put them out? Right. So we got some comments. We got Katie says, what the heck? Tara says, yeah, you better be joking. That's real ghetto. And Katie says she has hardly nothing on. So that means that all your body sweat. Oh! Where's Pastor Brenda when you need her? All your body sweat and everything is literally on the food that we're eating, that we're opening. My sister, anything she brings in the house, she scrubs down with alcohol. Everything. And Shantice has taken up the habit. And oh my goodness. So now you see why. They are literally in the freezer section. Now where my food is. Yeah. So, and again, this is just one video. This is not like everybody. All right. Okay, we got another video, y'all. Let's see what this one is showing. All right. So that's a video of a public pool that was opened up for the delight and to help everybody, get over the heat wave. And the lifeguards and the public pool, they closed off a section of the pool. And I don't know how, they planned outside of the lifeguards, clearly telling all of the patrons, hey, this part of the pool is blocked off. Well, of course, what did you see? Not only did you see some kids actually disregard the lifeguards that was standing right there, but the person who was actually filming, they were yelling to the people, yeah, go ahead. So now that's why you see this influx of people who just jumping in the pool, despite the fact that this portion of the pool has been cut off of use. So here we go with the mamas and the papas who now want to sue because their children or their child violated and something happened to them. And as you can see, the lifeguard is standing right there. Now, I don't know who's running this pool, but I got one remedy. Shut it down. That way, unfortunately, So, listen, such is life. We some people have to pay the good, got to pay for the bad. Well, you know what? Better that than open up this pool and you get this and you get a possible fatality. Shut it down. That would be my remedy, to shut it down. I'm not talking no more. I'm not saying anything else. Because listen, you looking right there. He can't do anything. All of the kids are literally just running in the pool. So you know what? Shut it down, and therefore you don't have this problem anymore. It takes us to just mess up everything. So it's 100 and something degrees. They open up the pool, and we can't even have enough respect to just be in the part of the pool that's safe. That's all they're asking you to do. But of course, we have those that press, and it wouldn't be my establishment. It would not be my establishment. Trevor says it was too hot to shut a park down. Put more lifeguards. That's your remedy, Terrence? So we got to go hire 9 more people to watch the children jump in the pool. That's what we doing? Let's see what the due time crew says, because I'm going to put it out there for them. Because personally speaking, I'm not hiring anybody else, because they're just going to be just as disrespectful. So when they jump in the pool, so you have all these children now jumping in the pool. So what you got, about 50 kids in the pool right now in an area where they're not supposed to be. So what are the lifeguards doing? That's my question. But maybe the due time crew is with you. I don't know. My thing is, that's not the remedy. That's not the remedy. You know what? Here's what they should be saying, Terrence. It's hot, and we want to get in the pool. We've opened up the pool, so let's behave ourselves. Why we can't do that? Why we can't act civilized, follow the rules? And the people, who have commented, they've said, this is why there are establishments that we've done stories on. If there's no adult, there are no children. No adults, no kids. They have shut down McDonald's. They have shut down children in McDonald's. We've done stories of they shut down children on Chick-fil-A. They've done several restaurants. So now, okay, or either do that. No parent, no children. So now you man your child. That's where it goes for me. I'm sorry, I'm not hiring any more lifeguards. They said there were 5 lifeguards on site. They can't do nothing with these kids. What can you do with these kids these days? Now. All right. Terry says, yeah, people need jobs, right? 1 guard for how many kids anyway? So they say 5 lifeguards on duty. And that should have been sufficient. But not when everybody's in the part of the pool that they're not supposed to be in. Shati says they need adults for the adults. 5 lifeguards is more than enough. We don't know why that part of the pool was shut down. That's my point. It's simply shut down. If we don't teach our children boundaries, they'll be living this lifestyle forever. They won't know boundaries. So you know what? So now they have made it known that this part is cut off, and in your brain, your defiance says, I'm going to go in it. And yet again, we'll have those parents like we did with the boys that broke into to the man's house. Now they want him to go to jail. They didn't just tore the man's door off, but now he should go to jail. No. And they shot at the man. So you got some unreasonable parents. And if anything were to happen to these children in this pool, they'd be right there blaming and pointing fingers. Shati says these parents teach these kids how to disrespect authority. All right, so we'll see what the due time crew says. We'll see what they say. Maybe they'll agree. Maybe they shall agree. I don't know. All righty. All right, so here's another debate online. So there was a woman who delivers for Instacart, and she was seeing the Ring camera of the house she was delivering to. It picked her up, ringing the bell, asking the customer to please put more on her tip area. But the food was sitting on the porch in the sun. So you have some people that said, well, how dare you? You didn't even deliver the people's food. The food is sitting out in the sun, but yet you ringing the bell not to deliver the food. So I guess they're saying you holding the food hostage. You didn't even give the people their food. Nope. She's not. She's ringing the bell asking, it must be like a kid or somebody answers the door, or whoever answered the door must have said they did not place the order. And she's asking the people, can you please go tell them to put more on my tip? So the debate online is, should she have done this? And what would you have done as the customer? Would you have tipped her more, or would you have wiped away the entire tip? That's the debate that's going on. So I'm interested. In hearing. Put in the chat, what would you have done? I'll hold my thought until after the Due Time crew they've spoken. So let's say good morning to Pastor Vinny. Let's get this conversation going. Good morning, Pastor Vinny.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a wonderful Tuesday morning. It's about 90-something degrees already.
Wow, okay.
But it's good because my AC is working.
No wonder you're smiling. Okay. So, Pastor Vinny, you go in your favorite supermarket on one of these 100 and some odd degree days, and you find people laying in the freezer section next to your meat. What do you do?
I'll go right up to the management. And listen, do you expect us to buy this food? And then it's up to the management whether they got to call the cops or whatever. You land in the frozen food case. That's trespassing.
He said that's trespassing.
You're trespassing. You don't belong there. Your body parts don't belong in the freezer section where people have to buy food. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'd rather you go outside and turn the water hose on from the fire hydrant.
All right. Let's see what your fellow Due Timers say. Let's say good morning to Minister Tamika.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing A-OK.
Amen.
Until you see the people laying in the freezer. Next to your chicken legs.
I'm going in there for frozen corn, frozen, fish. Is that people sitting down there in the... You gotta be... So, why y'all let y'all cousins go on in there? And my thing is, it's always gotta be us to start something new. Why? Why? You sitting there with a Ross t-shirt on, and she barely has anything on, and I'm supposed to grab meat from there. I had in my former life, I remember I was frequenting this restaurant, and it was a real good restaurant, and it was in the summertime. This female, they were getting meat together, They took the meat out of the freezer so this woman in tiny, teeny shorts could sit in the freezer to take a picture.
What?
So, needless to say, I went straight to the man. I was like, let me speak to the manager, please. Please note that I will never, ever, ever frequent your establishment again because I think that was deplorable. It's nasty. It's unsanitary. This is where you have meat and people's bodies is there.
Wait. Where was the freezer that you saw it? How could you see all of this?
It's okay. You know how people have like ice bags, like where you could get ice. Right. So they had ice and some of the meat they had meat on one side and ice on the other. So they removed the meat so she could take a picture inside the freezer.
Oh, wow. And this was just regular workers?
During the day, during my lunch break.
Oh, child. These people are something else. All righty. Let's see what Pastor Simpson would say. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Unlike what some other people are experiencing, it's only 73 here in Texas.
Wow.
But I would as far as the question that's on the floor, I think first of all I would be in such shock that I couldn't say anything. But I would go to the management as well. The reason I would do that is because it could very well be that their cameras are not showing that part of the store, and I'm just saying it could be, and therefore they're not aware of it. And I would go because again I would be in such shock, and I wouldn't trust myself responding correctly to the individuals that's doing it. So I live in Texas, but I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I love that one. It was us.
In the house.
And so, but it would really, again, I think it would first of all just really leave me in shock. But those individuals that are doing that as well could have some. I mean, the heat is a factor. Again, I remember being in Brooklyn when the streets were so hot that the tar did get soft back in the 60s and 70s.
Wow,
it did.
Wow.
And I remember that they had to come and turn on the fire hydrants. You see what I'm saying? Just how hot it was. So I can understand living in the city, it really getting that hot. But something is off in the head to me. I would just think something is off in the head of an individual that does that. It's got to be more than the extreme heat. I would say. So I would just go and report. I wouldn't trust my response.
Yeah, you had case, but again, this is not the only instance. They had several instances. Not in this store. Other states, again, they recounted a situation in China a few years ago where it was so hot outside that the people went inside the supermarket, cleared the shelves, and went in there and laid on the shelves. I'd sooner have that than you laying up in the meat section with no clothes. Right. So let's see what Pastor Kale has to say. I'm interested in his response. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Morning.
Hey.
And he's gone.
Whoop.
Yeah. Can you see me? I'm right here.
Yes, we can see you now. Good
Stop,
morning.
Stop playing with my picture now. Stop playing with my picture.
All right. So it's you. You going to get that steak that you've been dying for. And when you get there, it ain't just steak in the freezer. It's people laughing, joking, laying down, rolling around, like they doing right here. What's happening?
Yeah, I got a problem, especially if you're around my state. I mean, if you're close to the chicken, we okay. But if you're right by the state, first of all, I got to ask the manager, do we get a discount for this? Because obviously we got problems over here. But this is what I would tell you. From being in Alabama last week, 4 days in a row, 2 days was 105, 2 days was 109. 109 Alabama degrees is different from New York degrees. So while it sounds crazy, you step into 109 degrees, man. Sometimes you say, "I'll take the ticket." I'll take a ticket. A lot of folks down here in Alabama, they don't have central air, and what people don't realize is that when the heat gets that high, the power flicks on and off, on and off, on and off. Your power can't take this kind of heat. So you for a better word, lack of a better word, you dying. So if my only relief is to go an hour forward, I don't know.
But that's not the problem. Go in aisle 4. Why not push the shopping cart around? Pretend like you're buying food.
Because this is why. Because most of you know that I work in a store. So when I go into the store first thing in the morning, the glass is frozen. I mean, it feels good inside. But as that door keeps swinging open and closed, as the more people come into the store, the AC doesn't seem like it's as great as it is. So yes, once you consume your building with a lot of people, when you first walk through the door, it feels good. You walk through the door for about 10 or 20 minutes, it feels like outside.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think
I'm not saying it's right. Please, let's not fight. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying from 109 degrees, I can see why they're doing it. That's what I'm saying.
That's where I'm not going. I'm sorry. I can't go there. I can't go there. But maybe you do timers, maybe you do time crew. Maybe they can. Stephanie can't. I'm sorry. I guess I'm asking for the discount on my meat also.
Just don't buy that chicken wing by the leg. You know what I mean?
I ain't buying no chicken, period.
I'm not buying anything in that aisle.
Right. I'll buy the corn in the can.
So now you hot and hungry. I don't understand. Bad combination.
I can eat some corned beef in a can. I can go that route. I just won't have no fresh meat. Shanti says, you do better sticking your head in the freezer door. Oh my goodness. All righty. We have the children in the pool. The unruly children in the pool. All right, so some people have said that, Terrence, his argument was get more lifeguards. Some people in the comments have said that, shut it down. That's where I go. Shut down the whole pool. Where do you go, Minister Tamika?
Shut it entirely down. If you don't want to listen to the small details that I provided, for all you know, there's extra chlorine in that side of the pool. Or, maybe there was some fecal matter or something that they're trying to clean up. You don't know. You just decided you're going to jump in there. Can you imagine you jump in there and somebody get injured, somebody get hurt, somebody's skin, is causing, some damage because you decided you're just going to disregard, and I'm looking at the lifeguard just watching bodies go past him, and there's nothing that he can do. He's just standing there with his arms down. Even if he extended his hand for one person, there were at least 4 or 5 that went right past that one person. So I'm going to jeopardize my life for these people that won't even listen to the one request that we asked it. We asked you to go over here. not over there. You're just gonna do whatever it is that you want to do. Shut it all down. Seal it up, lock it up, we're done.
Okay. There have been people who have suggested the comment. Somebody said, shock them by throwing in a ton of chlorine.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said. They said, or they said, cool, now the whole pool is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else said, arrest all the kids, charge them all, get them started in the system now so we can avoid bigger issues later.
Wow.
Somebody else said, disgraceful brats, law and order needs to be enforced. Enough of these punks getting away with this garbage. So there's some of your comments there. Some people have said, kids will be kids. They're just acting like kids. And they should have listened to the lifeguards and followed the rules. But not listening to rules is something we have all done at some point in our lives. Pastor Simpson, which way you going?
I favor sister your daughter's response earlier. Again, you know, I can remember being up there in the city and just being out of hand myself, 14, 15 years old. It was just a thing to do. But because of the danger here, I would favor shutting it down because of the danger. That's what I would just say. Because of the danger, just
okay.
It's much better to just shut it down.
Okay.
Or potential danger. Right.
Okay. We got 2 shut it downs. Pastor KL, what say you?
Well, I have a question. Was this just verbally not go over here, or were there signs, or were there ropes? I mean, how was it told?
Well, there I see a rope. I do see a rope in the pool. I saw that. And I believe there was a sign, and it was reiterated by the lifeguards.
Right. Well, I would say this. I mean, if you're not going to shut it down, fine every parent. Every parent who has a child that does not have the ability to read, or that won't read, or for the hearing impaired, fine the parent. Once you give that fine for the parent, I bet you their child will get it together. You know, I heard somebody say that, you know, we've all done stuff like that. Listen, I don't do that. I never did dangerous stuff. When they told me, you know, don't go on this side of the pool, that's danger. Yeah, I'm not playing with my own life. You know, and then if you go in there and you drown, or you get cut because the bottom of the pool, maybe it's not paved the way it's supposed to be, then the parent wants to sue. You want to sue the establishment for the child not paying attention. And it's our job, to grab him as he's jumping in the pool? No. And then, you know, I heard Terrence say, get more lifeguards. You had 5. How many people are drowning a minute that you need more than 5 lifeguards? I'm just not understanding that. That's crazy to me.
All righty. So there's another direction. All right. Pastor Vinny, what say you?
This I'm with Pastor Kale. I'm like, I have never been in a pool where it didn't say that children under a certain age need to have their parents. That's the first thing you see when you enter the pool area. So where are all these kids even coming from? I think I saw a couple of kids with all their clothes that just jumped into the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you start? And listen, it don't take nothing for some kid to jump into another kid, and all of a sudden that kid's at the bottom of the pool.
Right.
You want to chance that? I know those lifeguards have seen that over and over again. I know they don't want to see that on their conscience. They don't want to have to deal with that. They create their own unsafe condition.
Absolutely.
Is it worth being cool for a couple of seconds?
Right. Right.
I'm sure that the other half of the pool was either a temporary situation or if not. We need to learn to follow the rules for our own safety. For our own safety. We got to cut it out. And Brenda would say, and that's why we can't have nice things.
Right. That's where my head went. I'm like, okay, so thank God that it's 100 degrees outside and we have the pool. So instead of us enjoying the privilege, and most pools are free, so you don't even have to have money to go to the pool. So clearly there's no mandate here also that you must arrive with a parent. So that's another bonus in my brain.
Yeah.
So you got a bonus of the pool being open. You have a bonus of there's no money to get into the pool. And 3, I ain't even gonna have my parent. And now here we are, destroying what benefit. Pastor KL just got finished saying that a lot of people in Alabama don't even have central air. And they're suffering. And here you are with a privilege, with perks, and you're destroying it. Not only that, I'm going to go here. Us, the lifeguards. Why? Why? Oh my goodness.
You know what, Pastor Steph? Let me have a transparent moment. So, in my former life, when I was in my other house, and the kids were young, we put a huge pool in there. A huge pool. And of course, we put a lock on the gate for the backyard. And the house insurance came and said, "Hey, your insurance is going to go up." And I said, "Why?" They said, "Because you have a pool in your backyard." I said, "Well, why would it go up because of that?" He said, "Because if another child climbs the fence and gets in your pool and drowns, you'll be liable for it."
Yep.
Wait. Now I want y'all to understand this ain't Pastor KL talking right now. It's my former life. Okay? Because I said, if I got a lock on my gate and it says do not trespass, and a child climbs my gate and gets in my pool, he needs to drown. because I don't understand how I can't have the luxury of my house and have to worry about somebody else who wants to be defiant. And then I got to worry about keeping you alive.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I've heard, like, if you have certain things on your property, it has to be made kept a certain way so that if anybody trespasses, it doesn't become a danger to them. Trespassing. What happened to them? In your statement, you say, if the person trespasses, such as in your case. Now, I'm liable, so I got to keep emptying the pool each time we get out, so that if you get in, after climbing the fence, you ain't supposed to be over here no way. If there were no pool, you shouldn't be over here, especially when you had to climb the fence. You have no business here. But yes, I've heard that if somebody is on your property illegally and something happens, you are liable for that. I'm trying to figure out where that makes sense. I'm trying to figure that out. But here we are. I want to talk about this. Well, we were all kids at one time, and kids will be kids. Now, Pastor Kale has already spoken on it. I'll start with you, Pastor Vinny. Kids will be kids. Is this what we're shrugging things off, on? Kids will be kids. So even when they act dangerous, knowing they're dangerous, we talk about the subway surfers all the time. We talk about the kids who play on the elevator shaft. We talk about all of this all the time. Well, are we going to defer to kids will be kids? And let's kind of contain it to this. What's your thought? You have kids. You have kids.
3 boys and a girl. But let me go back to when I was young and cute. All right, it wasn't that
time ago. Long time.
All right now. All right.
My goodness.
But my mother, Mrs. Eileen Estelle Stokes, Mama didn't play that. She taught us to obey the rules. I mean, really. We were hanging out at the front of the school, and the gate of the school was halfway open. I guess because somebody pushed it open, and we were running up and down the stairs, blah blah blah. And I could see my mother from a distance coming, and she was looking pleasant. So I said, "Oh, I guess we all right," Man, she got that close to me, and I saw a little stick in her hand. I could not get down them stairs fast enough.
I bet.
But there needs to be, my mother knew that she was accountable for my actions. So I didn't do. I'm not with Pastor Kale. I didn't do a lot of dumb stuff. Growing up because I knew, there are repercussions. You want to dance and music, you got to pay to the mama.
Okay.
You got to. And so, no, all 10 of us, none of us went to jail. None of us drank. Well, until they got on their own. I don't know what they doing that. But, we followed a strict set of rules. No, none of them, we never drowned because we weren't in the pool and we weren't supposed to be there. All these kind of things, little things that help to develop us, as parents or as adults. These kids, there are no rules, and the rules that are there, you get parents that just, don't worry about that. Oh, you'll be all right. Don't worry about that. You're gonna have a good time. That good time will turn on you.
All right.
You stay grown long enough. You live long enough, and that good time, it'll turn on you.
Okay. Minister Tamika, kids will be kids. What say you?
Yeah, we've seen what kids will be kids ended up being. If we just think of the many things that we have heard in these challenges. Let's think about the ice challenge, the hot water challenge, the Benadryl challenge, the take a gun to somebody's head and test. As a matter of fact, take the gun to your own head and test it 5 times challenge. She's no longer here. We talked about the kids will be kids when they decided to go out for Halloween and TP this person's house, and the person who TP'd the house is no longer here. And so these challenges just let the kid be a kid. So when you allow the kid to be a kid, then what ends up happening is that kid becomes a teen, and now the teen is just going to be a teen. And then when that teen becomes an adult, just let the adult be an adult. When does it stop? You got to stop them before they get to that teenage year, because then at that point, there's no stopping them, because these kids will look you dead bold in the face and tell you, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're looking at subway surfing. Kids will be kids. How many of them are no longer here? You got to put a stop to it. Your rules are made for a reason. You know, they're not just there rules to be made to be broken. No, rules are made for a reason, to keep you from hurting yourself or allowing the end result to be death.
Right. All right, Pastor Simpson.
I think about going all the way back in the Bible, and I think it's very, very relevant. There's a scripture that says, train up a child in the way that they should go. Right? That's to the parent. Train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they get older, the Bible says, they will not depart. But look who the Bible's talking to. That's responsibility. And I know that has changed drastically down through the years. I've seen it myself. But that I would say is the answer. So, this platform serves well, and in a scenario such as that, to give parents something to think about that perhaps they were not thinking about or do not think about. But train up a child, because again, it's just going to be a lot of sadness. It's just going to be a lot of heartaches going on. I was thinking earlier about the situation with the pool. The one thing that those parents and those children would not want to see, take out all of the lifeguards and put cops there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to see that.
Trying to hear that, right?
They wouldn't want to see that. So why then why not behave so that it does not come to that? You don't want to take what's worse than that. Take out all of the lifeguard and put ice there. You know what would happen? Nobody would go in the pool.
Right.
Why let it go to that?
Right.
Discipline, right? So train up a child, and I know a lot of parents cannot train up a child in the way they should go because the parents were not trained. But that's the answer. That's still the answer.
Absolutely. Right. And again, if you don't show children boundaries, they will live boundaryless.
Yes.
Boundaryless. They will not respect boundaries. And it's sad, because I always say big messes were once little messes. They ain't gonna wake up at 30 and be a mess. They've been a mess from younger. Yes. So something. Listen,
I have 5 kids, right? 5 grown kids. You know what I told them? I said, listen, my house is open, my heart is open. You can bring the children, and I didn't just get this way now. It's been this way 20 years ago. You can bring your children to me. I know you need a break. Bring them to me. I said, but understand this: they're going to be under my rule. Right. And if they cannot listen to me, don't bring them.
Right. Right.
Because if I tell them not to go on the street, and I gave my children an example, if I tell them not to go on the street and they go anyway, they're not looking both ways. They're thinking about excitement. They're thinking about having fun, but cars are coming. I said, if I tell them to go, if I tell them not to go on the street and they go and I call them, I can't protect them. And they don't listen. I cannot protect them.
Right.
So I'm a disciplinarian. I'm a veteran. And to today, 72 years old, I still don't play those games. Even until today, I don't play those games.
I hear you.
Have fun, but if you don't listen, you're going to have something else.
You're right. But none of us in this group could say our lives will live like that. You went to your grandmama's house. Oh, you told the line. You didn't go over there behaving the way you wanted to behave. I don't care what your parent allowed you to do. It was their house and their rules.
Yes.
So we all grew up like that. So it's something that we had to deal with. All right. We got this Instacart debate going on, this Instacart worker. And she has knocked at the door with the groceries. She left the groceries on the porch in the sun. And then she's knocking on the door, ringing the bell, because she wants to know if they can increase her tip. And we've got some responses in the chat room, and they vary. So they got, give them more tip, take the whole tip away. What would you do? I'm gonna start with you, Pastor Simpson. What would you do?
I think the first thing I would do is ask her, why are you asking for a tip and I don't see any food?
No. Yeah.
And then just let the conversation go from there. But first things first, right? I don't see food in the hand. I used to be one of those. I used to do that kind of work. And I know the responsibility and common sense. You know, if you know, what if I was not the deliverer, but was individual waiting for the food? How would I see that? So that's what I would say. You know, you're talking about tips, but I don't see any food. And then from there, why is the food on the steps, on the ground, on the floor? I've delivered food, and sometimes on your steps, sometimes there's ants crawling around on the ground, right?
Right.
So then, that would not be a healthy situation. I probably wouldn't even want the food.
Okay. All right. Minister Tamika, what say you?
I always consider myself a good tipper, but my thing is, I haven't even gotten the item yet. I don't know, everybody that has been with me on this podcast, I don't like deliveries. I just don't, because I don't. That process from me going to the restaurant for me to get it, I've always been, but we're at this point. So you delivered it. I haven't gotten it yet. And you already, your job is to do one thing, just to deliver my food, and now before I can even get it, you're asking me for more of a tip, and here's the thing that people don't realize. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to tip you. I gave you resources, and now in the midst of me giving you resources, you're gonna tell me you want some more. And if I don't give it to you, what are you gonna do? You gonna do something to my food? Because that's what that makes me feel like. Before I can get my item, you already asking for more. I wouldn't trust you. I would take. I don't. You know what? Take all the whole tip off. As a matter of fact, I don't even want the item. I might even make a complaint to the company, because that to me that's just really harsh.
All righty. So they say the customer had already set a $12 tip before the order was placed. So as you know, when we're putting our order in, all of that stuff is there. So they had given her a $12 tip. She was at the door saying, "Sweetheart, can you ask if somebody could put some extra on my tip? Could you ask somebody if they could put some extra on my tip?" Pastor Vinny.
Now I'm not familiar with iCart and DoorDash and but my kids use it because they travel a lot. Before that you even calculate, they already got that tip in that bill. And I don't know. That's what's established. Now, in order for you to get more, I mean, what are you? What service? Well, I don't know. I want to put it like that.
Like, what are you basing the extra on? Pretty much.
Yes. I mean, what are you asking for? $12. That means that she had like a $60 order. Am I right, Shantice? That's about 20%.
Yeah, they're almost there now for deliveries.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, any more, and you're gonna have to eat my food because I'm not gonna be able to afford my food.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're the regular, I mean, if you're the one that comes, all the time, but every day might be somebody different. Once I get to know you or whatever, like a mailman, you see the same mailman pretty much 5 out of 6 days of the week. So you get to know your mailman, you get to know his habits, and he gets to know yours. He knows that when the car's not in the driveway, that nobody's home. And if there's a package, he can leave that package inside the gate or inside the screen door. We do all of that extra stuff to make sure that you get, your package, to get what you are expecting. But this where does it end? I mean, where does it end? I mean, you're already getting a tip for whatever you have a contract with your company. You're going to deliver these people's food, and you're going to receive this as a fee or compensation for your efforts. She needs to be let go. She needs a good bye-bye because she is not a good look for that brand. She's not a good look for that company.
Okay. Pastor KL.
First of all, it's always us's. It's always us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the first part I thought my counterpart was going to realize. It's always us's.
Yeah.
We always need more. Again, just like some other folks will say, I don't do all the dashes and all that stuff because I find that the meal is almost double the price.
Yeah.
And then you want me to tip you on the double of the price. I might as well went and sat in a restaurant myself. And now you're asking me for more money, and as it was said, I don't have my food. So now you're holding my food hostage. The double price that I've already paid is now at ransom for more money. At this point, I already didn't have the double price for the hamburger. I was nice enough to give you a tip. Take everything back. I'll make a spam sandwich. I'm okay. Take it all back because this is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not privy to understand what's going on, but I think the company pays you as well. You don't just go out and drive your vehicle. You can get some type of check or salary, and then you get tipped on top of it. So no. You're going to demand now that the $12 was not enough to bring me a McDonald's cheeseburger? No, I'm sorry. Take it all back. Take it all back. I'll delete it. And then you have to explain to your boss why you couldn't deliver, why they've lost that sale. No, you have to explain all that. I'm good. I'm fasting and praying.
Yeah. All righty. Hey, Miss Halima, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Shati says both sides have to understand the risk with this type of work. Unfortunately, as the deliverer, you may not get tipped. As the customer, you have to tip accordingly. So there might be a discrepancy in the tip. Now, from what I do know, so you have the amount of the cost of the purchase, right? What you bought. Then you have your fees, which are quite high these days. And then on top of that, you have an option to tip. And most of them have like the percentage and the amount that would be. Some of them just have the dollar amounts. So you as the customer, you're looking at the whole thing. You're looking at what I've paid for these groceries, being that it's Instacart, what I've paid in fees. Now, how am I going to tip? So $12, I don't know if $12 would be considered good or bad. But I do believe that, you know, when you go back to ask for extra, you're running the risk that you're going to make somebody mad. Do you want to run the risk?
You know what? So my store has, I guess what they call Instacart or whatever. People come and they shop for people. But, you know, as I ask the questions to them, because they say they do quite well, but they have a choice, because, you know, to Shanti's point about how dangerous it can be, they have a choice of which orders they can choose. So if you know this is in the projects, yeah, you're taking the chance of the danger. So, I mean, you don't have to be, because it's in the cart, because it's available for you to go do it, you don't have to choose. You get to choose which orders you want to take. So the risk factor lessens if you're wise.
Okay. She says they only work off of tips. No, they don't. You don't remember us doing a story where Mom Donnie pushed the base pay up? Remember they were trying to go even to $30.
Wow.
An hour. So no, they don't only work off tips. So they get their whatever amount, because I think at one point they were saying that DoorDash and Uber were at like $18 an hour, and he wanted to push it to $30. We did the story. So if you're at 18, let's just say you're at 18 an hour, and you have the option of choosing, you know, which orders you want to fill, then you kind of gauged what you were going to get. You don't know what people are going to give you. But I say it is a Russian roulette. You don't know what the people are going to tip you. You know what I'm saying? I say tip well, especially if they got your food. Tip well. You don't want nobody mad, and they got your food. So let me see what there's more comments. She said they're still independent contractors, not a set salary, still based on Google. Okay, well, maybe he didn't get anything done. Because I remember specifically that conversation, pulling up that article. So, okay. She said, I doubt they've updated that if she's asking for more on a tip. I don't know. You know, some people are just like that. Some people, you know, that's what they do. Some people need a prompting. So I don't know. You know, all of this stuff may seem like unrelated to Christianity, but there's a way that things should be done. And Pastor Simpson alluded to it. You know, he talked about it in the other, you know, train up a child. And we need, as Christian people, to see that we need to act better. So I'm going to put it out there. If you, not in your former life, but if you you know, was doing the DoorDash thing or the Instacart thing, and you felt like you didn't get enough tip, would you go back and ask for the tip? I'll start with you, Pastor Vinny.
I mean, I got a tip, but I'm asking for more.
Yes.
Right. No, I would take whatever I got. Because excuse me. A tip is a suggestion. A tip is a suggestion for the customer to, to further embellish whatever the delivery person is receiving. But a tip is not a mandate. If I tell my kids, if you can't tip properly in the restaurant, don't go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
If you can't do the minimum, which is 15% at the time, don't do that, because now you're asking this person who's not making a whole lot of money. We used to understand, the restaurant business, but now even that's changed. So everybody, your tipping starts at 18% now. It goes from 18 to 20 to 22. So you make that choice whether you want to pay for that service. And if not, go someplace else. Me, I would not ask for more. I'd be satisfied with what I got. Even if it was ridiculous, if the tip was ridiculous, I would scratch it off my list. I wouldn't go back there again.
Okay. Pastor Simpson. No, not Pastor Simpson. Pastor K. Would you go back? Not in your former life. Right now, would you go back and ask for extra on that tip? Is he talking?
Not hearing you. Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So no, not at all. I wouldn't, because first of all, you have to keep in consideration that you don't know what that person could afford. And not only that, maybe they were in a situation where the kids were home and they couldn't get out themselves. So now they're spending extra just to feed somebody. And now, because I'm appreciative that I didn't have to dress all the kids and put on Pampers and go out, that I'm giving you what I got. And now you mad because of what I have is not enough for you? No, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back.
Okay. Pastor Simpson.
Yeah, likewise. I wouldn't go back either. I would be thankful for what I have, and thank God for it, and keep it moving. But I wouldn't go back.
Okay. And Minister Tamika.
So you felt, okay, so she took the job already knowing what the tip was, and the word of God in Proverbs 14:12 tells us there's a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are ways of death. Now, let's just say I decided to go and knock on this door and ask for money, and this person was offended by me knocking on the door, and they in turn came open with the door with the gun. Now, my life is in jeopardy, and now I'm the one that wants to cry, oh my gosh, this person assaulted me. But had I not knocked on the door and started this never would have happened. Me personally, I'm not, whatever it is that you've given me, thank you very much. I live to live another day. I can go to somebody else and get something else. But knocking on this door, no, it's not going to happen for me.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm not going back either. I think it's the nature of the beast. You know that you're working and a lot of your stuff comes from tips. Mm-hmm. A lot of your money comes from tips, but you also know, or you should be realistic enough to know, you may not get what you feel you deserve. And I remember Shatice coming home quite often. I remember speaking to AJ when they were, at this time when people were really good, before the pandemic, and people were really going to restaurants and eating, and some of the stories that they would tell. And, they were like, they worked and the bill was $180 and somebody gave them $25 on the bill, like stuff like that. And I used to always tell my youngest, she would want to go out with her friends. And I would ask her, where you going? And I would say, listen, I was like Pastor Vinny. I told her, don't plan on sitting down at nobody's table and you got $25 and you gonna order $25 worth of stuff. Because part of dining is tipping.
Mm-hmm.
And know where you're going, know what you can afford. I'm gonna go Bible and say, who plans to build a house without counting up the cost? So we got 3 Bibles verses right here with all these scenarios that help you understand that you have a responsibility. And I used to say to her all the time, I want to go to IHOP with my friends. How much money you got? First question. Well, how much money you got? Because I already know the money, the cost of IHOP items. I'm like, make sure you factor in the tip. Don't get up from that table. And now the server's looking at you mad because they just got finished working. And because y'all are a bunch of kids at the table, you walk off. You still owe them. And they would like to go like when it would be free pancake day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you still have to tip. The people are still working. Mm-hmm. So I think it goes back to what we were talking about a little while ago about just training your child. Mm-hmm. Just understanding. So no, I'm not going back because I understand that there will be overages at times. Somebody may tip you a little more, and that helped to balance the scale from someone who did not give you. So, but you can't take a job and then you complain about the practice. Mm-hmm. You have to eat it. So, I'm gonna do time crew. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Pastor Steph, hold on 1 second, if I may. I like to stir up the pot for next week, and I really like to invite Shantice because I know that the restaurant is her passion. But my question will be on the floor is how are we so passionate about the percentage we have to pay on a tip?
Watch out now, watch it.
Because the server was so great to us. But here a man who takes care of us, who watches us over and over every day, even when we're not so great, and we got a problem with giving him 10%. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. I'm with that. Just remind me. Just remind me of the conversation because it's a valid. It's a valid point. Valid point. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for your contribution into today's conversation. And we pray you have a blessed day.
Have a blessed one, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always end with a whoo. That was a good one, Pastor Kale. That was a good one. Again, we talk about, just the basics of Christianity and how we need to do things better than the average person, better than the average thought. We're not going to tip, or we shouldn't tip with the mentality of, well, they should be looking for what they got. No, we can't. Understanding, like Pastor KL gave a scenario where this was an emergency. But a lot of times it's not a quote unquote an emergency. Again, it's a benefit. It's helpful. So if we're working, people who work from home, or people who home, they're doing schoolwork and things like that. Sometimes you want to go out, but you just realize there's nothing in here. Very few times this situation is emergent, but there are times when it is. And, do we, think about stuff like that, where I've heard some people say, oh, they just sitting back at home and they just ordering food. And a lot of times that might be the case, but we also have to consider that it may not be the case. And we had a story like that a few months ago where somebody was delivering. She was doing like a DoorDash Uber driver thing and was talking, and somebody saw her delivering the food with children in the car. And she reported her. And, you also report the ones that leave the kids at home while they go out and work. You don't understand the scenario. So you're reporting someone where maybe in an emergent situation, maybe the person who was supposed to come and babysit didn't show up or called at the last minute. And it's like, you need the money. So there's a lot of factors in everything. But we need to be wise in how we move. So we have the situation of the people in the freezer section. See, here's my thing. I keep telling y'all, stop inviting the police into your world and then be upset when the police show up and it don't go well. Anytime you invite the police into your presence, you run the risk of getting one of those idiotic, stupid, silly officers that will not handle things properly, and the situation will escalate. Get up out the people's freezer. If it's 115 degrees, get up out the people's freezer. It is not designed for that. I shouldn't have to be concerned with seeing somebody laying in the freezer section where I'm going to get my meat from. Just like you're suffering, I'm suffering. We're all hot, but we all don't stoop to the same level. We talk about the kids, everybody jumping in the pool, and they're like, well, it's not enough lifeguards, or kids will be kids, and things like that. No, we need to think on a different level. Teach our children about boundaries and pray that they follow it. Because despite the fact that we were all not perfect kids, that does not, that's not going to distract me from teaching my children what to do. How does that factor in? Well, I was a kid and I just did all kinds of things. No, you know what? Maybe I didn't come from a home with two parents, or parents who weren't, doing what they were supposed to do. So am I now going to lack when it comes to structuring, giving my children structure because I didn't have it and that's the way I ended up? No. We have to do our job. Do our job. Because the kids may or may not listen, but we will not be responsible, or we should not be responsible for not doing our job. There's a word in Ezekiel that says, I've given you a word to give. If you give the word and they don't take the advice or the direction or the guidance, the blood is on their hands. But if I give you a word and you don't deliver that word, then the blood is on your hands. So I'm sorry. That blows us straight out the water. Straight out the water. And when it comes to this last scenario, again, on both sides, be mindful. Be mindful as a person who is working as a deliverer, in this delivery service or in the server business, that is all Russian roulette. And God will balance the scales for you. I've seen it done. I tell you, when Shantice and I had a conversation, and she called and she was like, Ma, she was at the US Open. She was like, Ma, I've been out here all day. I have not gotten any tips. It was like $20, $30, something. And she was like, it's hot. I'm tired. And I said to her, I said, listen to me. I said, you set out to do a job. Do your job. God will take care of the rest. And talked to her for a little bit. She was hot. She was really upset. I said, do not slack on doing your job. Stay the course. Let God handle that. She called me back. The last person she served gave her a $250, I believe it was $250 tip. So high that the manager came back. He went to the customer and said, do you realize you just gave her $250? Is this correct? And he said, yes, it is. That's what I wanted her to have. So you didn't start off that way, but God balanced the scale, gave you the $250 in one pop. Trust God. You may not see him do something today, but he's going to come through for you. Trust him and live your life accordingly. We can't live our life all helter-skelter, harry-carried, all that kind of stuff they say, wish-washy, and expect God to come through for us. Like Pastor KL just threw out on the table. We expect our paycheck, we expect tips, but when it comes to God's business, not only in our tithing, but even in our actions, even in our duties, we lack and we slack. But we're expecting God to come through. We're on our knees praying. We're asking God. So let God balance the scale for you. It may not look like it's happening, but I promise if your life is being lived accordingly. And let me tell you something. God is that kind of God that says the rain falls on the just as well as the unjust. He's giving everybody at times. Whether you deserve it or not, he's giving it to you. Just like Pastor KL said. So follow God. Now, we're up to we're on the 7th. We've got 18, 19 days to the Breaking the Yoke Community Conference, the Prayer and Awareness Walk, and Jamaica's first community conference. It's going to be an amazing day. There's still time to join us. Please make sure you do so. A couple of weeks ago, we had Dr. Shauna Washington on, and hopefully on Thursday, we may have someone on. So we're really getting this together. There's a lot of hard work going into this, and you will definitely be satisfied when you leave. Again, we'll be doing mild facial enhancements. We'll be doing some gently used clothing giveaway. There will be music presentations, dance presentations, fashion presentations. We will have a health and services fair, which will definitely benefit you of all the things that we will be offering. We have, let's see what else. We have some dynamic speakers who will be there as well, giving a word from the Lord. We'll be giving some health word, services word. So you're going to get it all. And we have been blessed to get the men's organization Faith, Fathers Alive in the Hood, to join us. So they've joined forces with us, and we are looking forward to a blessed time. We are leaving from 8 different locations out, or 9 different locations out here in Jamaica, Queens. And it is definitely going to be different than what you normally see. A walk, we have, remember the awarenesses we're walking for. We're walking for cancer. We're walking for domestic violence, cardiovascular health. We're walking for autism and dyslexia. We're walking for dementia and Parkinson's. We're walking for what else? Suicide, abstinence. Yo, I'm telling you, it's out there. And think about the camaraderie that's going to happen during the walk. The identification of I understand, and you're not walking alone in this journey anymore. If somebody's ill in your family, or if you're going through something, you now have partners in Christ to help you through. So that beginning, that first leg of the day is going to be essential to your whole understanding and acceptance. We will be going through Jamaica Queens from 9 different directions. Think about the prayer impact on the community. Just think about it. Think about 9 different directions we're coming from and praying 3 times on each journey. In each of those 9, 3 times. 3 times. If you want your shirt, we have, because we are now, Faith has now joined the prayer walk. We have now opened up we've extended the date a little more so that anyone who comes on board can actually, get a shirt if they choose to. There's going to be food, there's activities, interaction. Boy, this is we have had 3 powerful years of conference. This by far already says it's going to be much better than any other conference. Much better. One of the biggest things that has gotten a lot of review, positive, was the interaction. So at one point in the conference, we broke up into teams. And at one point you just talked. Just get to know who's in the room, who's in your group. And another time we played a game. And it was so much fun. And I got a lot of feedback from that, a lot of positive feedback. Thank God, that they really, really enjoyed it. And I'm talking about people who don't go to church. I'm talking about people who don't go to church. And they were like, I really like this. And I give God thanks, because only by the grace of God that we even come up with this stuff. This is not no brain power of our own. The word of God says that we don't do anything on our own, so that no man can boast. We can't talk about how great we are. The success of the conference is because of God. So when you come, when you bring that right attitude, and you come to be around, people like-minded, you're going to have a good time, because everybody's coming for the same reason. So also, here's the other blessing. By us being in the park, you have the other people that are just in the park. There'll be music. We have a live band. We have a DJ. So we don't know what's going to attract anybody. But I will tell you, it will be a pool of colors. So come on and join us. We are bullying. What else? I said suicide, but bullying, gun violence. 17. I think we only had maybe 4 that really didn't get any traction. But we are pushing forward, because again, it's still open for another few days. So we don't know at this point who's going to want to walk for whatever that particular social or health awareness that has not been picked up on yet. So we still don't know. It's still out there. So I promise you, if people have enjoyed years 1, 2, and 3, then we're really, really, really. The Queens Public Library is coming out, and they are offering services like never before. I don't know if y'all know. I don't know about any other state, but here in New York, New York City, they closed a lot of the libraries at one point, and now they are opening up a lot of their goal. I read their goal is to open up every library, but they are actually operating a little differently than what we've known libraries to operate. Normally, you just go in there, you get a book, you walk out. No, they have all kinds of services now that they are offering. So, listen, come on, you don't know. They might be offering something that you had not considered. We have so many different things going on that day, and it's still the Lord's day. Still, without violating God's day, we are able to do all of this because it's about the community. We will have prayer booths. So for those who want prayer and, they're like, listen, I'm willing to go in the booth. For those of people who may want prayer and they don't want to go in the booth, that's fine as well. But there will be something there so that people can see that I can interact spiritually as well. I'm feeling heavy. I want prayer. And I'm not afraid to say that I want or need prayer. And I'm going to reach out. So, God is really expanding this conference this year, because this is our first year putting the prayer walk on top of the conference. So we're definitely going to enjoy the day that God gives us, praying for some wonderful weather, so bring your little beach chairs or your sheet and blanket. It's beautiful greenery. Sit on it and relax and just partake and take in everything. I can't wait. And I only wish that I was the one sitting in the chair and or on my blanket or my sheet and just being able to enjoy. We got to check in from Nazir. Good morning. Blessings to you as well. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're in New York City on July 25th, please join us. We will be at Queens Baisley Pond Park. Our section is 155th Street and Foch Boulevard at the corner of 118th Avenue in Jamaica. And I promise you, Faith is bringing in, some of their own stuff and really DYCD, the Department of Youth and Community Development. They'll be there to offer their services. They're giving away some brand new clothing from one of their sponsors. So not only will you get some good clothing on one side, but then you'll be able, we don't know how they're going to distribute it. We don't know what's going to happen, how they're going to give it out, but there's even that on the table. So, and we don't know what God's going to do in his next, 18, 19 days. We have no idea, or 17 days, what he's going to do and what he's going to pull out his hat. I can't wait. So get that number in your phone and dial so that you can get, right now, you can still get your shirt and you can register for this event, for this prayer and awareness walk and Jamaica's first community conference. I can't wait. I'm hoping you feel the same way. Tell a friend, bring them all, bring the whole family. Okay. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for helping us do what we do and keeping that chat room alive. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss the opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to anyone. Until tomorrow, God spares, where it's Wow Wednesday and another day closer to the Prayer and Awareness Walk and Jamaica's first community conference. Until then, I love you.